Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Guys, it is my prayer and hope that this video is going to find you when you're doing fine and in good health. I'm also doing fine at this peripheral end, so let me know where you're watching this video from. So guys, there are two questions that I want to ask you because it was the height of agitations that I tried to find the answers. And up to now, I'm still seeking the answers. But I couldn't find any because watching several videos to come out decoding this kind of a message, it is what you want to decode them together. Perhaps, let me go direct to the questions. Number one, was there any fight that erupted in the villa or at any point? Number two, was there any instances that Deemwango yesterday or any other time that Deemwango has ever clapped back at Rocio? Guys, these are the things that I've spent almost 24 hours going deep to videos or trying to decode particular kind of videos to unravel such kind of things I haven't seen. But perhaps I went back to the person who really said these things. As you could see, this thumbnail and the title that has already been jotted here under, the owner of that thumbnail is Nairobi teacher, is the one who was claiming these two things. As you could see up there, fight erupts in Amora Villa. I've not seen any kind of a fight. Down here is seeing at the title, Deemwango class back at Rocio. I've also checked several videos. I've not seen where Deemwango is clapping back at Rocio. Perhaps it could be a misconception or an information being misconstrued. Therefore, today, we want to look at this clapback, or we want to look or identify where the war has erupted. Perhaps it's not the villa. Going forward, we also want to declassify the message that is contained in the teacher's video. So guys, if you're coming across this video for the very first time, kindly click on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, YouTube shall notify you instantly. To my fellow subscriber, may God bless you abundantly. So let's dive in after the video. Yesterday, Deemwango did a video that is so prolonged. But at the start of the video, Deemwango had an opening statement towards this video. First of all, it was an inspiration that was brought by Ayamarwa. So Deemwango spoke to it. So I'm going to speak to this issue into two segments. The first segment, it is what the misconstruction that Nairobi teacher did. And the second one is a confirmation to declassify or to decode Nairobi's teacher's statement, because it was a huge turn and twist. So Deemwango proclaimed two things and stated two things, or pontificated. That is, she doesn't depend on men. More so when it comes to building house, she's building hers. Number two, Deemwango states that being financially independent woman, it's something that is good and it's something that she has learned from very famous celebrity into the globe. Therefore, the statement itself is what was misconstrued into this YouTube street. Perhaps let's go straight away to this video and listen to Deemwango.
I believe every woman should be financially independent. It doesn't matter who your brother is, who your husband is. You know, I can't just sit down and say, oh, my husband will come and build a place for me to lay my head. You know, until then, because I'm not married yet, I have to do what I can do as per now. You know, and it's always different when you know you worked for this. It's always a different feeling, you know, and who knows tomorrow? Nobody. So you just do what you can do in this life, you know, and then you leave the rest to God. And one of my favorite verse that keeps me going is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, you know. And also, you know, being born in a male-dominated society where it used to be, but nowadays things are changing, but not so much, where they believe it's a man who can do everything, you know. But nowadays things have changed, you know. I look up to strong women like, you know, Rihanna, Fenty. They have their mega mansions, villa all over the world, and that really encourages me, you know. That tells me dreams are valid. It doesn't matter. Nowadays, in today's world, there's no woman, there's no man. It is you, okay? So in that connection, I'm currently building my first dream home, and I'm so excited for this journey because where I am right now is the most difficult.
Deemwango was just inspired by the brother Ayamarwa, and Deemwango decided to give applause to the brother and to herself that that inspiration that is got from the brother has made her to become financially independent. Why not for Ayamarwa? Things could have turned sour. Deemwango also has recognized the powerful women in the globe that has inspired her, that she's long been looking up to them. So this is the video that there is more of the gist. This is the video that Nairobi teacher has misconstrued. Perhaps when Nairobi teacher is giving a connection to this video wrongly and misconstruing it big time and connecting it that Deemwango was passing a message to Russia, it is quite unpalatable, and it was done in a bad faith or a bad taste. Because to what proponents is the Nairobi teacher is connecting that message to? Is there something that really happened between Deemwango and Roshio ever since Deemwango and Roshio met in the villa? Was there any fight? If this is the fight that Nairobi teacher is talking about, therefore there is no fight. I haven't seen any other kind of fight in the villa. Therefore, I found Nairobi teacher's statements dumbfounded. Perhaps majority of people doesn't realize what I'm saying. So let's us listen to Nairobi teacher, because Nairobi teacher is telling us that Deemwango clapped back at Roshio. Therefore, I want to connect it to what kind of proponent that clapping back is premised. Was there any other kind of indicators? Was there any other kind of a precursor? There wasn't. And that was my worrisome. And I rightly came to decode this statement. And at the end, I will declassify big time. Perhaps let's go into direct
to be what I am, you know. But he saw all that in me. He pushes me, he motivates me, he encourages me. He's always there for me. I mean, having such people is a blessing in this life.
Okay, I think we were having a very nice flow of me there. Okay, sorry guys, sorry. I'm having a kick out of this. You know, I always find joy in small things. So sorry, forgive me.
Because he inspires me a lot. You know, if it wasn't for him, I couldn't be who I am today. To be honest with you guys, I couldn't see myself to be what I am, you know. But he saw all that in me. He pushes me, he motivates me, he encourages me. He's always there for me. I mean, having such people is a blessing in this life. You know what I mean? I just woke up and I just wanted to have this beautiful view. And also, in that connection, guys, is
now let her talk about the house and how she doesn't depend on a man. But of course, Rocio depends on her man, and that's why she's at her husband's, in quotes, house. Okay?
I believe every woman should be financially independent.
Ro, hi. I believe that message is meant for you. I believe every woman should be financially independent and not dependent on a man, and not finding things that have already been done for you. Okay?
Guys, I believe every woman should be financially independent. It doesn't matter who your brother is, who your husband is. You know, I can't just sit down and say, oh, my husband.
Okay, Rocio, come here and listen. This is minute 2. She really prepared this last night. She knew what she was going to say that night, because things are not thinging in that compound. I'm telling you, things are not thinging. Things are getting murky, and I'm telling you, very soon they will just come out and tell us things are murky.
Your brother is, who your husband is. I can't just sit down and say, oh, my husband will come and build
Okay.
I can't just sit down and say, oh, my husband will come and build a place for me to lay my head, until
Oh, Rocio is being
that is
beaten
a lie
left,
of a
right,
teacher
and
statement.
center.
That
Okay.
for a long time I've been telling these people that sometimes it's a misconstrued, or sometimes it's not a misconstrued. There is no misconstruction itself. They know, they pretend they don't know, but it's an act of impunity or an act of wanting to vex Ayamarwa and Rocio and Deemwango all intrusively, because their main aim is to see Rocio leaving Nyamuhanze, or to see Rocio departing her ways with Ayamarwa. Because there is a constant campaign against Rocio and targeting Rocio, that you see Rocio is being targeted so that Rocio could easily depart her ways with Ayamarwa. And that's a matter of fact, because a constant machinations and a constant defamation from all these quarters of the Lezigan plus the adherents, it is quite worrisome. There is no proponent that Nairobi teacher wants to connect such kind of Deemwango's utterances. Perhaps Nairobi teacher didn't understand. Now, Deemwango's first segment was cut just to propagate a particular narrative, because these people are now targeting Rocio, and they want to make Rocio so vexed, an object of punching, so that Rocio decide to leave. For very many number of times they've done that, but they haven't succeeded. So let me help Nairobi teacher plus any other person and the adherents of the Lezigan who would otherwise consume such kind of a verbiage, vexation, to learn. So before Deemwango spoke or utters that kind of statement of being an independent woman, that she would not wait a man to come and build her house, Deemwango was premising that kind of a statement to a proponent that she spoke about earlier, but Nairobi teacher refused never to air it. Perhaps let's watch the second segment of Deemwango's video, then you will try to connect.
beautiful place. I feel motivated every single day because my brother works so hard. Both of my brothers, I have two brothers, they motivate me a lot. Imagine having such a beautiful place. What else do you need in this life? It really motivates me. But again, I can't just count on what my brother has. What is his. Me, myself, what do I have for myself? In Swahili, we have a saying, if you depend on your brother's things, you will die poor. Mtegemea cha nduguye hufa maskini. But I feel so privileged, so blessed to have him as my brother, because he inspires me a lot. If it wasn't for him, I couldn't be who I am today. To be honest with you guys, I couldn't see myself to be what I am, but he saw all that in me. He pushes me, he motivates me, he encourages me, he's always there for me. I mean, having such people is a blessing in this life, you know what I mean? I just woke up and I just wanted to have this beautiful view, and also in that connection, guys, I believe every woman should be financially independent. It doesn't
We
matter
understand
who your brother
Deemwango and where Deemwango has come from. Deemwango was moving out, and Deemwango started showing Ayamarwa's beautiful and awesome villa, or we call it Aumsan Hacienda. And from that moment, Deemwango was telling us that she has been inspired by the two brothers, mainly Ayamarwa. That at that age, that she achieved a lot. Not only Marwa, but she has also been looking up to the independent women who are so wealthy, who have created wealth because of out of a sheer hard work, not because of favors. Right there. And also in the connection, what was happening? Deemwango is building her dream house and a villa. And we could realize the hard work that Deemwango has put. Therefore, in the connection of that, that's why we're seeing Deemwango saying, in connection of what Emaro have created in the name of the villa, and in the connection of independent women that have inspired Deemwango, therefore Deemwango is yet seeing his dream, her dream by building a villa. In that connection, because Deemwango is pegging the issue of self-reliance or self-independence, not to being built a villa, but she's building herself to a proponent that the brothers have decided to build, to a proponent that the women she's looking up to as something that has created wealth in the name of villas. She's communicating such because she's been inspired to, not because she wants to attack, because Deemwango cannot premise this thing towards Roshio because there's nothing that has really happened. Between them. So the narrative that Deemwango is not needed in the villa by Roshio is an hogwash and is an hubris being thrown or being hurled by these naysayers, which they cannot substantiate. And therefore, today, I took it upon myself to come and combat it. So this statement alone is so valid because majority of women also wants to be self-independent and self-reliant, don't depend on men. So anybody, more so women, who didn't just sit to wait for the houses to be built for them if they are financially stable. That is the message that Deemwango was passing without targeting anyone, because it was premised on something. If at all there were other kind of a squabble and a fight in the villa, as Nairobi teacher is insinuating, therefore someone would easily say and would really easily connect it because of the squabble that Deemwango was chased by Roshio. Therefore it could be, but there's nothing that has happened. Therefore you cannot just bring this sentence and assertion to exist in a vacuum. There must be a proponent that you have to connect the two statements to get a meaning. Perhaps you hear me and you hear me well, and that's a fact, because I'm not seeing it anywhere. And that's a matter of fact. So there was no any message that was being passed to Roshio, because Roshio has never done anything. So for Nairobi teacher to come and tell us such kind of a repugnant statement itself, therefore it lacks proponents to make us think that probably there's a probable ground that this and this is happening. So one, there was no any fight that erupted in the villa, and two, this message itself was premised on the inspiration that Deemwango was inspired by the two brothers and the wealthy women, so independent and strong, who have created the wealth, not to Roshio. Not to Roshio. That's a fact. Not to Roshio. On the other hand, A.M. Carroll also decided to come and decided to diss Emaro and the Emaro circles. Also, he or she was dissing Jamaican uncle and Oli Mawira. This is in the connection of Baba Marion, who went to Emaro to seek support. And this is the question: what is the problem if anybody goes for a shutout? What is the problem if any sane man and woman travel to Emaro's place for a shutout to be self-reliant? Is there any problem? Why are the lazy can fighting for people who want to exist self-independently and make money out of a sheer hard work without looking for shortcuts. So any narrative is in bad taste and does not make sense at all. It's an indication that this lady is feeling so jealous even for the upcoming YouTubers. And as a matter of fact, this one has just been confirmed. Perhaps let's listen to AM Carol, then you'll realize that what I'm saying
from
is
Mr. Mura's audience. That was the main reason he came in. And I guess he's still down there. Because the moment you move from Nyabohanse to somewhere else, all those people, they will remain back in Nyabohanse village. Marwa will just remain with his people back. You go and get your shout outs, you move out, you go back to where you came from, and you go alone. All the subscribers will be left here. So the trick of staying along with these subscribers is you receiving them and you staying in that village. That is how it's going to work. It has been working like that for so many people who've been doing this stuff. If you check the people who came even during the party time, most of them stayed in the village. Most of them decided to stay because they noticed if you go out, look at a person like Mawira. Is it Nyawira, Mawira? Look at him. Their videos, they will always do well when they're back in the villa. Look at a person like Jamaican uncle. Even Americans, his own Americans that came from Mura and decided to subscribe in his channel. When he leaves the village, they leave behind. They don't go with him back to the US, unfortunately. So Papa will be walking around, yeah man, yeah man, yeah man, in the streets of America. Yeah man, yeah man, yeah man. Alone. Until he comes back in the village again to collect the people that he received. And then the video will start doing well. The moment he leaves.
That is a diss. Claiming that Jamaican uncle once comes to the village, the YouTube has already been recharged. Same to Mawira. Well, it's fine. It's fine. Because Amara is the one who gave the shoutouts, and Amara is the one who gave that number. On the other end, they're saying Amara has got no numbers. When Amara gave people the numbers, they come in and start complaining. But there is a double speak and an irony. An irony in the sense that A.M. Carol has turned herself to disobliging. You cannot see that one to herself. That her niche plus her life plus the food he eats, if she waits for Amara to poo and Deemwango to poo, then she fails. She uses Amara's names every day to put food on her table. She comments, and a day cannot pass out before this lady think, dream, sleep, wake up, and do everything with Amara's name. So what makes you so different? You are dissing other people, therefore you don't look into yourself. The number of people are watching you, they're watching you because you are using Amara's name. So long as any other proponents concerning Amara is within your video, you list your content with Amara's content. You list your content with the names of Amara. That alone make no difference. That alone makes no difference. How many number of videos you've made without mentioning the Amara's name? The other day you did a vlog showing us your maize plantation. The video has stagnated just a merely 1K. In fact, you received 1K after 48 hours. But the video that's with the name of Amara, 1K comes in within 2 hours or 4 hours. So it tells you who has got numbers. So sometimes you might think you are dissing other people, yet you are dissing yourself. You might think you are reacting, therefore, the only thing you are doing, you are exposing yourself. Therefore, you see you. For a number of times, a number of years, 365 days, 24/6, 24/7 hours. What have you been doing with Amora's name? Yes, because you yourself, you started like a positive reactor and defending Amaro every now and then. Then what happened? You disembarked to other kind of things. So you are here and people are watching your YouTube. YouTube is in existence because Amaras exist, because Amara does vlog every day, because Deemwango does vlog every day. Without mentioning the name of Amara, your channel is as dead as Dodo. That's a matter of a fact. So guys, at the end, all this information is declassified. All these kind of narratives are just part hogwash. They're not making sense. Misconstrued, that has nothing to offer. Therefore, the message itself are as archaic and obsolete, but also declassified. There was no fight that erupted in the villa. The Deemwango's message was just an inspirational message that passing to women outside there. There was no any component that connecting Deemwango's message to Rocio. Deemwango and Rocio are respectable human beings on this earth, that nothing has happened between them that so bad that would warrant such kind of message to be passed. And that is how I'm decoding this kind of sentiment. Perhaps let me hear what you think at the comment section. Until next time, this is